as we welcome good friend of ours to the studio here, Jason.
Brian O'Keefe is here from the Des Moines Fire Department, and well, you brought a lot of stuff, and the stuff is here because it's Severe Weather Awareness Week.
Yeah, I know you've been covering, and I appreciate that. We just want the public to think about, have a plan. Those first 3 days, the fire department, we're going to rescue and evacuate and help those in dire emergency, but during a severe storm, there's potential for, of course, utilities being lost, access down, power lines. So we want you to be comfortable for those first few hours or days. So we brought some basic material here to consider.
And 'tis the season, isn't it?
Well,
Jason?
and let's begin. Let's get rid of a couple of myths. One, there are people that think tornadoes don't hit big cities, and I mean, please, if you've watched the news during any part of your life, you know that's not true. There's a myth about tornadoes not hitting river valleys or hitting areas where two rivers meet, such as Des Moines. Not true at all. Tornadoes don't care what's there. They just form and they go. So we need to know what to do to stay safe here.
Of course, and I think a few of us have been through the floods in '93. I had a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old at the time, and just losing basic water.
Yeah, that
changed perspective.
Devastating for people. Yeah.
Right. So I was fortunate. My mother-in-law had a pool, so I had access to water. But so we cleaned them up in the pool
pond,
and had a wagon still to go back and forth to one of the local stores to get water from the National Guard. So the Des Moines Fire, we can get the resources in after the initial emergency, but consider your environment. Know how is your neighborhood fed utilities? Are there power lines that could be down? You just to go out into your yard could be dangerous after a storm, that you might get electrocuted. It could be an active wire on a fence that you touch and don't even notice it. So consider that. Know your utilities within the home. So if it tears apart the house and you smell gas, do you have the ability? Do you know where it is to shut it off? Same thing for the main breaker, because we don't want to make anything worse, more dangerous for your environment there.
We didn't even think about the gas thing. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Now, you brought in quite a few things today, and are these examples of things we should keep handy in case a situation like this occurs?
Yes, and I've shared with you that ready.gov through FEMA is a fantastic website.
They have a mobile app as well. We have it on the surface here if you want to go to that, Eric. There's the mobile app, and it shows you what you need to do. You can just push a button and tell you what you need to, a checklist basically of how to prepare.
Absolutely, and it covers everything but the apocalypse and a zombie attack. But so yes, self-paced, bilingual, Spanish is available. But just we want you to have that initial safe kit here and a few items, some food for a couple days, first aid kit for nicks and scratches, maybe some gloves. I really encourage the baby wipes. I've used these around the world for multiple reasons, for sanitation. A lot of people have transitioned away from the normal radio with the 6D batteries, and so everyone's on phone. So have a backup power source for your phone.
And at the same time, if you have a backup power source, maybe you've had it sitting around for a while, make sure it's charged. Okay?
Right, exactly.
I went to use one just last week over at the parade, and the backup power source we found out wasn't charged. It was sitting too long and it lost its charge. So make sure that they're charged on a regular basis.
Exactly. So that and the can opener, because we want non-perishable food items. And a flashlight. These storms happen day, night, and to discuss it here in a well-lit room versus waking up after your home's been rattled and windows are broken.
Now, this is a pretty handy dandy flashlight you have here, Brian. Now, see if you can get this, Tom. Look, on the flashlight, it has a checklist of what you need to do, what you need to gather.
Those are handy. I give those out when they are donated to us. It holds AA's, AAA's, and C cells, and it comes with your whistle. So if you're in your home and we're driving by and you're screaming for help, a whistle really transmits through a lot of different places.
Where do you get something like this?
Well, it's an Energizer produces it, but there's prepping sites, and but this one happened to be donated by Energizer. We get some nice toys, but yeah, just look around, see what's available when you go to your major stores. They might have some additional items.
Some things people don't always think about: medications, and you even have your glasses sitting on the table, because you can lose that if you're in a storm, and sometimes we need those things and we don't even think about them.
Well, I pulled this out and the batteries were dead, so when I went to replace them, I had to pull out my glasses to see if it was AA, so AAA. Yeah, meds, prescriptions, maybe you're given a form to follow up on. But yeah, I do keep my glasses near.
See, if you do have glasses, chances are you have a spare pair, and you want to keep a spare pair in a secure location.
Exactly.
And you can throw all these in a bucket, put it in a place so you know where everything's located all in one spot.
We recommend that you inspect it regularly, maybe transfer out some of the food if you're questionable on the duration that you've had it. And then, yeah, have some reliable container to, I happen to bring a bucket, but, and then, of course, the water supply, a gallon per person, and then depending on the size and number of pets that you have in the home, you need to address their needs too.
Make sure you have a storage unit of
It may
food
seem like
and stuff.
overkill, but flooding can knock out utilities for days. Ice storms can knock out utilities for days. You could have, say, a bad electrical storm, something like the Aurora, and this has happened before. It sounds crazy, but these are all things that can happen, and it's best to just be safe and be prepared for them.
Exactly. Yes. Don't take it lightly. It's out there. The tools are available online. Listen to your weather forecaster and understand the difference between the watches and warnings.
So this is going on for another couple of days?
Yes.
Now, there was to be a statewide tornado drill today at 10. They moved it because we could have some thunderstorms today, although the likelihood of them being severe is low. So the tornado drill will be tomorrow. Just so you know, when those sirens go off, it's just a drill.
Right, and so understand, whether you're at work, play, your children at school, maybe you have a senior family members, know their environment too, because your place you might be displaced from your home, or you might need to go assist them. So have a plan. So if you can't communicate by phone, you could say, hey, I'll come over as soon as possible to check on you, or have establish some secondary means of communication so you can relax better knowing your family members are taken care of.
It doesn't hurt just to have this stuff handy.
These are pennies on the dollar. And be nice to your neighbor, because you might lose power and you're looking across the street at a nice warm lit home, and so get to know them, establish some rapport.
Might want to go and say hi.
Carry over 6-pack and introduce yourself. Do that before it actually is an emergency.
That's why people get friendlier the farther north you go. Exactly. Those neighbors.
Brian, thank you very much, sir.
So
Appreciate
good to
coming
see
in, man.
you.
Good to see you.
Thank
Good to see you.
Appreciate it.